Hello, everybody. This is Bub of Bub's Comics coming at you with a vinyl haul. So be on the lookout for that. And so here's what we got going on. I'm going to just go over a few records that I picked up recently and then kind of talk a little bit about them, what I like about them, what I don't. Then this isn't some kind of like a super in-depth audiophile review, nor is it some super, in tune hepcat music review. This is just talking about why I got the music in this format, why I picked it up, what I like about it, and potentially what I don't like about it. What's up, Biggie, over at New World Order Comics? Good to have you. So that's what's going on here. So let's jump right in. We'll get in with the first, probably the oldest one I picked up so far this past week, and that is Purple Rain by Prince and the Revolution. So hey, Harry's Zlatos always putting up. He's put up Harry's put up a total review of some artists and some of their songs. Good stuff. Where he just plays some music and he's got some images of album covers flashing and line notes. So good stuff. If you care anything about this, you'd love Harry's channel as well. It's a total hipster review. Yeah, probably. All right. So here's what we got. Purple Rain. This, I've never heard this total album before. What's up, Ken? Kate Titus coming at me from Japan. I had never heard this whole album before. Now on Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain, we've got on side one, we've got Let's Go Crazy. I knew that one. Take Me With You. I didn't know. The Beautiful Ones. I can't even read that. It looks like computer blue, but I can't read that. Darling Nikki. It's like written in script, so it's a little bit tough. And on side two, it's got When Doves Cry. I knew that one. I Would Die For You. I knew that one. And Baby, I'm a Star. I didn't know. And Purple Rain, I did know. So out of this, before getting the album, I knew 1, 2, 3, 4 songs on the whole album. Good evening, Gore Vidal. Good to have you. Let's see what he said. Purple Rain, great album, just like Prince's work from that time. Okay, so you may not like this review. So here's the thing. Sometimes there's a hit album like this was, obviously, and it came with a ton of, anytime half the album is well known and it gets a lot of radio play, that's pretty popular. I've listened to it a few times and I just can't get with it. I liked the songs I like, but the songs that I already knew I liked. But everything in between was a little rough. And my wife and I were really happy to get it because she's a Prince fan. I think she's seen him in concert, and they were excited. She was excited to listen to it. But, man, some of the songs on here were stinkers, in my opinion. That's just kind of how it goes. He's got the 2 Prince comics. Comic video. Okay, sounds good. Kate Titus, always a big supporter of the community, comic community, that is. He did do the Batman movie soundtrack, yes. Yeah. And I think that's part of what made it so popular. And this is the height of Prince Mania right here. So, and the picture disc, these don't have the best audio quality generally. So just so you know, if you're in the market for vinyl and you're picking up these picture discs, they're cool. They look cool. There are no stinkers on Purple Rain. See, that's what I love about it. That's also why I have no one else in the other corners of the screen, is because music is real personal, and some stuff you're going to love and some stuff you're not. I'm still happy to have it. It's a good album. It's a cool cover. And like I said, the picture disc, I'm a sucker for those. And they also tend to be cheaper. So this was only like $18. And if you buy the regular Purple Rain album with the jacket and everything, it's like 20-something bucks. So not a big price difference, but it wasn't bad. It's enough that I'm trying to only get albums that are commemorative in some way. That way my vinyl collection doesn't just explode, because I could easily just go to a flea market or any kind of any kind of shop and buy a ton of albums. And I just don't want to do that. I just don't want to have my album collection look like my comic collection where it just takes over the room. So that's kind of where it's at. That's on my top 20. Look, Jerry the Jitterbug chiming in. I love it. I love you guys. Let's see. You can only listen to Prince. You can't hear Prince. White man can't jump. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll take it. Let's see what Gore's saying. MTV would play Prince's videos until Purple Rain when he went mainstream. Wouldn't play. Okay, until he went Purple Rain mainstream. Okay, USA Network would play his earlier work, which was very adult-oriented and great music. So there you go. Las Cruces here from New Mexico. Man, I tell you. So when I was a kid, I had there was a little girl who was in my babysitter. Like we had the same babysitter. And every now and then she would end up at my house or we would end up at the babysitter's house to get picked up or whatever. This is when I was, preschool age. So I guess I was somewhere around probably 5 or 6, as I recall. I was probably in between kindergarten and first grade. Anyway, she loved Prince and thought he was the cutest thing I ever saw. And I just thought he was the ugliest dude I ever saw. It is what it is. So, buying a turntable. Oh, I haven't, just because if I buy a Bowie Heroes album, I want the Japanese imports, then the French. Exactly. The collecting can get out of hand. Comic Books NYC is digging their Purple Rain. So there you go. Purple Rain, picture disc, double. And that's the other thing. On a picture disc, I like both sides to be different. This one, they put the same exact image on both sides, and you can't even really tell which one is side A and side B. There's a small little marking on the center. It doesn't delineate A or B, but you kind of have to use your imagination, and maybe that's enough to guess as to what it is. So there you go. Purple Rain's the first one. We're totally yanking you out of genre here, and we're going to go all the way to some rockabilly, and we've got Jerry Lee Lewis, Down the Road with Jerry Lee. And this one is from the Sun Record days. We've got a whole lot of shaking going on. Milkshake, Mademoiselle. That's right. You heard it here. We've got Wild One, Real Wild Child, which is not the probably now more famous Wild One, but it's kind of in the same vein. Loving Up a Storm, Breathless, beautiful song. Love that. Great Balls of Fire. Side 2 has Great Balls of Fire, Hand Me Down My Walking Cane, Down the Line, End of the Road, and Big Blonde Baby. That's right, which is, I guess, blonde. So it's Big Blonde Baby. And this one has a commemorative, I don't know how to say it, Cayenne. Printers have been bugging me with that word forever. But there you go. There's that one. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the color on that vinyl. It's solid, so it's not translucent, but that color is just bub blue and yellow all day. I am loving it. I just absolutely, absolutely love this album. It's a 10-incher, but it's a 33, and so it has 10 songs. So, I mean, it's just the songs are so short, they fit on 10 inches. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love this one. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen my wife holding this one up. It's just fantastic. We had a great time. All right, I'm falling behind. Picture discs are dope. I love them. They don't sound as good. So this is what I was getting to. So the way that a picture disc is made, and it's so silly how they make it, but basically they take the puck of vinyl, they press it down, right? Then they put the picture on top, and then they put a very, very thin coat of it's not even vinyl. And then they impress that with the sound from, or the grooves from the music from a standard pressing. So it's so thin that it has a lot of surface noise. And we'll get to, actually, the Prince album isn't too bad, but there's another one in here. Man, the surface noise is terrible. New vinyl is obscenely priced. I'll buy it used, but not new. As much as my heart loves vinyl, my ear knows CD sounds better. Hey, that's fine. This is more about collecting the art and the appreciation of the line of the notes and everything. And CDs kind of dropped the ball on that for me, and certainly MP3s and stuff like that. I'll listen to that while I'm in the car, while I'm working out. Yeah, right. And doing all this other stuff. But when I just want to be in my comic room and enjoy some music, then I'm going vinyl. Prince changed his name to the artist symbol. Yeah, I remember that. He had a big problem. I think it was with Sony contracts in industry, who was, the artist. Yeah. And I think then he was an artist formerly known as Prince. They were able to do that too. Am I in time for the review of the new Jonas Brothers? You just missed it. It's being shredded. Jerry Lee Lewis, as controversial as Prince was in his time, maybe more so. Jerry Lee Lewis was really something. It's the cousin loved. Yeah, that's about right. Jerry Lee Lewis was a real controversial figure. Yes, he married his underage cousin, and he was boozing and pilling his whole way through, and really was hard up to be as recognized as Elvis. They were contemporaries. They were friends, supposedly, down the road, and partied an awful lot. So this guy, he grew up in, I think, Louisiana, music halls, and just was listening to everything, and then turned it into something popular. And that's kind of what he did. I wonder if I have a Wayne's World Picture Disc soundtrack. I bet they do. Yes, beautiful blue. Never spin picture disc, only display. That's about right. That's what they're good for. But I listen to them anyway, because who cares? If you can listen to a radio with its hisses and whatnot, then you can listen to vinyl. That's for sure. And Biggie says vinyl sounds better, so you never can tell. Have a great Luke Skywalker picture disc. That would be awesome. I do like that. All right, so Jerry Lee Lewis. We'll show that blue one more time just because it's so worthy. Let's take a look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Just absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. So there you go. Okay. Now let's take a look at this next album. We're going to go with another picture disc, Michael Jackson's Thriller. Now, I picked up this one because I don't know that it's necessarily my favorite Michael Jackson album, but it probably is. Thank you, Gore. Appreciate that. But here was the deal on this. When I was a kid, my dad had a record collection, and he didn't have too many records that I really wanted to listen to as a kid. And that's the one, yeah. And my brother and my sister, they were older. I was the youngest. Every Saturday or so after cartoons were done, sometimes it was on Sunday, he would let us pick one album each to play. Just one album. Sometimes my brother would pick a different album. My sister liked a couple of different things, but this is the album that I always picked up every time it was my turn to choose. I played Thriller. That was it. As a kid, that was the only album that my dad had that I cared about when I was that young. So on Thriller, we've got side A, Wanna Be Starting Something, Baby Be Mine, The Girl Is Mine, which is a duet with Paul McCartney, Thriller, and on side B, which of course is the title track, on side B, we have Beat It, Billie Jean, Human Nature, PYT, which stands for Pretty Young Thing, and The Lady in My Life. Not a bad song on this entire album. It is absolutely killer. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Now, the back has these nice little kind of notes, and they also give you the lyrics to all the songs, which is nice because I missed that. That's something you don't get with MP3s and all that stuff. Is you don't. I guess you can look up the lyrics online and all that other stuff. So we're going to take this one out to show you that the back, check that out. Now, that's good. Look at that. The world's biggest selling album of all time, Michael Jackson, Thriller. Look at all those zombies. So you have here. Now, when I was a kid, I remember there being like a tiger on his leg or something. And I think they might show a picture of that here somewhere. So I'll have to look for that. So Michael Jackson, Thriller. Very cool. And let's take a look here. Yes. So here on the other side, which is blocked by the disc, you have some more of the lyrics. And then you have these pictures here. And that was when you opened up the album, that's what you had, the tiger. And there's the Paul McCartney doodle and all that stuff, some Thriller stuff. Like I remember all that from the original album. So very cool. Very, very happy to have this one. It's Thriller. Look at Sean. Oh my gosh. Look, in the 80s, white suit, Don Johnson solidified with the roll-up sleeves. Absolutely. And then I had the red jacket. Man, I remember when people had the red jacket, that was something. I mean, that was something. If you had that Thriller jacket, you were hot for a minute. That's for sure. All right. So let's see. Next, we will switch it up a little. Actually, we'll stick with MJ. And here's the Bad album. So my son gets a kick out of the fact that I say it's a bad album when it's actually pretty good. But let's see. Used to have a Monkey's Picture disc, but there was more crackles in a bag of pork rind nachos. That's about right. So this one is another clean one. It doesn't have any pops or crackles. But the whole time you're playing this album, it goes... Now, if you turn the volume up loud enough, you can't hear it. But I get when people say that picture discs aren't for listening because this one's a little rough to listen to, but still comes through good. It still plays well and is enjoyable to me. I'm not getting caught up on little things like that. So on side one, we have Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, Speed Demon, Liberian Girl, Just Good Friends. On side two, we have Another Part of Me, Man in the Mirror, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Dirty Diana, and Smooth Criminal. So fantastic songs there. Again, really not a stinker on this album. There's some that you maybe have not heard of, but it takes a little get used to, and you'll end up liking it. What's fun is that, so I had listened to Liberian Girl, and I kept thinking of Red Sonja and thinking in my head that it was Chimerian Girl. And I know that can't be right. So it was Liberian Girl, but I was thinking, man, is he saying Chimerian Girl? That'd be Red Sonja. So there's some liner notes in there. They don't have the lyrics on this one. So just the information about the album. And then the back has another Michael Jackson stance. So very cool. And actually, I always thought this picture was much cooler than this picture, which looked a little bit But this one, that's pretty cool. So there you go. Michael Jackson, Bad. Keeping it rolling with the hits. Like I said, that one has some serious background shushing going on. So let's make sure everything's looking good. Yep. All right. Hi to everyone. All right. Kenneth Bird saying hello. Thank you, good sir. And Harry approves. All right. We'll take it. Next up, we have the best of the doobies. So if you don't know what a doobie is, I can't help you. But a doobie brother is one of these guys. So here you go. There's the Doobie Brothers. And on the best of the doobies, it says listen to the music up front. And we have on side one, China Grove, Long Train Running, Taking It to the Streets, Listen to the Music, Blackwater, Rocking Down the Highway. I mean, that first side is as good as any other album could possibly be. Side two, Jesus Is Just All Right, It Keeps You Running, South City Midnight Lady, Take Me in Your Arms, and Without You. The whole album is just awesome. It's just so good. You just couldn't. It's so good. It's just so good. It's just so good. It's just fantastic. It's a great. You feel like if this had 20 tracks on it, they probably could have found another 10 great ones. But I mean, this one is just fantastic. It's a perfect album. Great listening music. It flows well, and it is a contender for the prettiest album in my collection. Look at that translucent cola bottle green, they call it. Now, I hope that the light is picking up the greenness of that and not kind of washing it out and making it look clear or blue. But it really is a bluish kind of green in the sense that it's like a Coke bottle would have been. So like an old Coke bottle, not the clear ones, but the green glass ones. And it is super duper cool, man. And when that's on the record player, it looks so good. It just looks, it shines, the whole thing lights up. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it sounds really good too, because you have to be careful with the clear vinyls. Every now and then they have a very like plasticky sound to them where they're not as rich in sound, but they have kind of a hollow plastic sound. It's hard to describe, but you'll know it if you hear it. Every now and then the clearer vinyls will have that, and the straight clears will have it too. It has to do with how they're made. I don't know, but it's like a harsh sound. This doesn't have that at all. It's a perfectly smooth record. Very good stuff. So we've got here, going to need to name your top number one from these. And then, oh, okay. I'm going to be, I know it's going to be tough. Yeah, it is. It is. I say I can't even choose which one looks the best, because this one and the other one make it look so much better. I think the inside sleeve is making it bluer. Could be. So the inside sleeve is just clear. But yeah, I mean, that and the translucent behind it is so pretty, man. I just love it. And it sounds great. And I like all that to go together. And you can't watch a CD spin, most of the time. So there you go. So last and definitely not least, it's another picture disc. It's a 2-disc, 2 LP set. And we're going to show off this ELO Out of the Blue. You guys know I like my Jeff Lynne and my ELO. So here you go, Electric Light Orchestra Out of the Blue in 4 picture discs. Now, for packaging, this one gets the worst, absolute worst packaging I have of any albums. This is the worst packaging. Look at how bad this is. First of all, it's just plastic sleeves. Now, the interior is fantastic. And I remember the original album had this in the center. And then this was the front, I'm pretty sure. I think this was the back. This was the center. This was the center. And then this was maybe one of the sides of the liner notes, because often they would give you the lyrics. ELO would usually give you the lyrics. All right, so let's see. What's good? Hey, what's up, Art Chemist? ELO is fantastic. Yes, I would say they're my favorite band, or Jeff Lynne, my favorite musician, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to take these picture discs out because they look exactly the same as they do in here, and you can see both sides of them. As an added bonus, but look at this. I mean, that's just an accident waiting to happen. It's absolutely terrible. And then it's got this little paper sleeve in there. That's the only thing holding the spine together. I mean, the packaging is just atrocious. But on ELO, Electric Light Orchestra Out of the Blue, we have on the A side, which would be the first side of the first disc, right? Turn to Stone, It's Over, Sweet Talking Woman, Across the Border. And then on the B side, it has Night in the City, Starlight, Jungle, I love that song, and Believe Me Now, which is kind of just like a trance song, and Stepping Out, which is also fantastic. I'll be listening to this as soon as we're done. On the C side, which would be the first side of the second disc, it actually has a theme, which is awesome because you just don't get that anymore in a CD or anything else. You don't get a theme because everything just runs together. But back, when you had vinyl, they would sometimes, some artists would do themes per side, so you could get a feel for just that side. Anyway, side C has a theme. It's called Concerto for a Rainy Day, and it's Standing in the Rain, Big Wheels, Summer and Lightning, and Mr. Blue Sky, probably one of their most famous songs. And then on side D, which is the second side of the second disc, Sweet as the Night, The Whale, which is beautiful, and Birmingham Blues, and Wild West Hero, which is also beautiful. And what a way to end the album. That Wild West Hero song at the end of all these long ones, by the time you get to that, holy moly, man, that is so good. It's just such a perfect song to end on. Let's see. Yellow is fantastic, yes. According to a student back in the late 70s, he thought that ELO was ripping off the music of Electric Light Orchestra. Yeah, okay. I guess that makes sense. Some people just don't know. They got to learn sometime. No Pink Floyd or Dire Straits yet, though. Very, very true. So my issue with the Pink Floyd albums is that they come on 180 gram, which is, I guess you could say, commemorative because it's a heavier weight vinyl like these are. But the problem is that's not really that's not enough for me to make me buy it. I still want them, but I'm hoping that with an album like that comes out all the time. I mean, those albums are The Wall and Dark Side of the Moon will never be out of print. They'll be pressing those albums forever. So as long as they're still pressing those albums, I'm waiting until a better commemorative edition comes out. I'll be camping on it, and when one does, that's when I'll buy it. So, hey, Werewolf by Lunchtime, good to see you. I think in the early 80s was the last great era of album art and photos. I remember as a kid seeing the Scorpion albums at stores, and today wouldn't be displayed or allowed. You know, that's true too. There's also a lot of nudity on album covers. You don't even see that anymore. And, you know, it's just things are different. Things have changed. So that's okay. So, yeah, great album. So the listening quality of this one. Yeah, thanks. The listening quality on this one and Dire Straits, I almost bought a Dire Straits album, but again, the commemorative issue that they had, it was sold out, so I'll be waiting. But there's another one, Dire Straits Greatest Hits. That will always be in print, so I won't have to worry about that. Electric Light Orchestra, Out of the Blue. First disc, first side played perfectly. Second disc, second side played perfectly. First disc, side A and B played fine. Side C, so it's the second disc, first side, had through the first two tracks, which are beautiful, tons of popping and cracking. And I cleaned it. I tried everything. It's just picture discs. Sometimes you get like a little, you could see like the bubbles in them. Now I could return it and try and get another one, but we're not going to get that crazy about it. And I got a good deal on it, so I was very happy about it. Used some of my credit card reward points to get it. So very awesome. Love the album. So that's it. That's my haul. So those are the albums that I picked up. Now, let's see. There's been, I think it was Sean that said I had to choose which is the best. All right. So here's what I'll say. I'll say that if it was purely by the music, and just the fact that I loved every song, that I love every song in the album, it would definitely be ELO's Out of the Blue. That would be my favorite album of music out of the ones that I've collected, okay? My absolute favorite one. If it had to be for the best looking album, I got to give it to man, that's tough. I give best looking album to this Coke Bottle Green. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. So Doobie Brothers gets best looking album of the actual album, not necessarily the cover art, but of the actual disc gets best looking. And then of all these, the one I'm happiest to have and the one that just puts a big old fat smile on my face is Jerry Lee Lewis, and also a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous colored album. But this one just puts a big old smile on my face, and it was super cheap. It was like $12, and this one just makes me so happy to get this limited edition blue vinyl. It's just beautiful. So that one's pretty cool. So this one makes me the happiest. This one's the prettiest to watch spin. This one has the best music on it. Not necessarily all the tracks are perfect, unfortunately, but it has the best music on it. And the one I've played the most since I've got these has been Thriller. I still put it on all the time. Like when I don't know what to play, I throw on Thriller. So take it for what it's worth. And if somebody came and stole all these albums, I'd be most mad that they got Jerry Lee Lewis, because I think it might be the harder one to replace, because who's printing this? You know, I mean, this is awesome. So, okay. Jerry's a humdinger. Thank you. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the haul and the little kind of review. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll catch you next time on BUB'S Comics. Remember to what am I supposed to say? Listen to vinyl. Somebody had come up with something really good last time. I can't remember. Listen to vinyl and don't apologize for the clicks or for the pops, something like that. Don't apologize for the hiss. There you go. All right, Jackson Roy Kirk coming in at the end. You have to catch on the replay, buddy. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.